The Keno-style game from the Georgia Lottery.
You're watching WSB-TV, covering Georgia for 50 years.
I'm Hugh Downs.
And I'm Barbara Walters. And this is 2020 Friday.
From ABC News, around the world and into your home, the stories that touch your life with Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters. This is 2020 Friday. Tonight, a new breed of burglar, brazen, armed, invading homes day or night, and they want you to be there.
There were 4 people outside my garage door with guns.
Robbers using commando tactics, holding you hostage while they clean out your home.
I went through terror. I still go through terror.
You may feel safe with a high-tech security system, but these burglars know you're an easy mark.
Do you have the alarm on when you're inside?
No.
Bill Ritter will show you how they operate and what you can do to protect yourself and your family against the home invaders. And an outrage against America.
Please raise your right hand.
A money-making scheme that makes it too easy for immigrants to become Americans. 2020 uncovers fraud at test sites for U.S. citizenship.
There are many groups out there which essentially sell citizenship.
He says his testing company is honest, but watch this tester helping with questions. Speaking another language.
That's out and out cheating, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Brian Ross exposes a shameful practice. You'll see it happen. Companies selling out America. Plus, they used to be a play shoe. Now they're a fashion statement. Can you believe what they're getting for sneakers? Y'all ready for this? $75, $100, $150 a pair.
It's going to allow you to run a little faster.
Run better, jump faster.
That's what some claim, but can they really deliver? We checked with the experts, checked the most popular brands. What we also discovered, few people know.
And this one has a high point right in the middle of the sole.
And find out what women should look for. Arnold Diaz with a tell-all about America's favorite footwear. We can't wait to reveal these sneaker secrets. Those stories tonight, Friday, February 6th, 1998. After this brief message.
Another breakthrough from the 1 Hour Labs of LensCrafters. New Featherweights Plus lenses. They're lighter, they're thinner, they're more impact resistant. And now they're twice as scratch resistant compared to regular plastic lenses. New Featherweights Plus, only from LensCrafters, made in about an hour.
People expect more from my teeth because my husband's a dentist. We use Mentadent.
Mentadent's formula actually targets plaque bacteria. It works like no ordinary toothpaste.
I know my mouth is clean because I can feel it.
Mentadent, more than you ever expected from a toothpaste.
I wish my parents could be here to see me win, but I know that's not possible because it's lunch.
And right now, get 2 Big Macs for just $2. Did somebody say McDonald's? Proud to feed the world's Olympic athletes.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to pay last respects to the Internet as we know it. Lucent brings new life to net. Less congestion, phone calls and faxes over net, and CD quality sound. Lucent Technologies. We make the things that make communications work.
At Ace Dollar Days, you can turn $1 into a lot of great stuff. Like 2 rolls of assorted Ace brand tape. Or a roll of Ace Tall kitchen trash bags. So hurry to Ace Dollar Days before everything's gone.
What's more important than keeping our homes safe and our families secure? That's the reason home security systems are big business. But for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And cunning thieves have found an aggressive new way to beat the system.
And that's bad news. This new breed of burglar is out to invade your home when you least expect it. Not when you're out, but when you're there. Correspondent Bill Ritter found a crime so new that law enforcement is just getting a handle on it. But he also found some simple ways you can stop these home invaders.
Americans have bought more than $23 billion worth of home security systems in the past 2 years. 1 out of every 5 homes now has one, and police believe they have helped slash the nation's crime rate. But this boom in home burglar alarms has forced the criminals to come up with something new, a way to get around your security system when it's turned on. Now they're waiting until you turn it off.
The Sacramento County Sheriff's Department needs your help finding 3 suspects in a brutal home invasion.
Just before 2 this morning, deputies say the intruders forced their way into a home on Bertie Court.
It's called home invasion robbery. And unlike old-fashioned burglaries, where the robbers wanted you out of the house, home invaders want you in your house because they know most of us keep our burglar alarms off when we're at home.
What we have seen is that people have made their homes a fortress, but only when they're not home.
Fort Lauderdale Police Captain James Hurley is an expert on home invasions. He led a campaign to toughen Florida's criminal penalties for home invaders.
They're going into the residential areas in broad daylight. They're able to follow people home from grocery stores and take them down at their door when they have their hands full, when they're not ready for a confrontation at all.
Confrontation is what all home invasions have in common. The terrorized victims become virtual hostages and are forced, sometimes brutally, to reveal where they hide cash and jewelry and all their valuables. Police departments coast to coast are worried about this trend, but no one yet has come up with any national statistics. One reason is that the crime is considered so new, the FBI doesn't even keep track of it yet. But we do know this. Home invasions are happening in virtually every kind of neighborhood, in big cities and in small towns. In Sacramento and other cities, police first noticed the trend in the late 80s, primarily in Southeast Asian communities, where thieves knew recent immigrants often keep their money and valuables at home, not at the bank. In some home invasions, robbers carefully select their targets, looking for any sign of wealth. Someone wearing expensive jewelry, or driving a fancy car, or people who own their own businesses. But increasingly in recent years, some home invaders are picking their targets totally at random. Just ask the Coker family, a middle-class couple in their 60s living in the suburbs of Sacramento. They were at home last year just doing chores when they were randomly attacked by home invaders.
I happened to look up, and there were 4 people outside my garage door with guns.
And then Harlan and Nola Coker's nightmare began. They were thrown to the floor. Harlan was kicked over and over as the robbers demanded money and jewelry. They even wanted their wedding rings.
Well, they wanted the rings, and when I said I couldn't get them off, they were going to cut them off.
After terrorizing the Cokers for about half an hour, the robbers made off with a couple of $1,000s in cash and valuables, and then they drove away in the Cokers' car. The gang hit several other houses in the Cokers' neighborhood, but they were never caught. They represent the low end of home invasion crime, criminals who don't plan their robberies and have no idea what their take will be. For the high end of home invasions, perhaps the best example is here in Paradise Valley, near Scottsdale, Arizona. 14 luxury houses were invaded in a 4-year period, all by the same highly sophisticated gang. They pulled off their heists with military precision, hauling in about $9 million in cash and jewelry. All of the robberies were conventional home invasions, except one. It was well known in Scottsdale that Jim and Cece Doan kept lots of guns in their luxurious home. The home invaders apparently knew it too.
These people thrive on having control of a situation. And if they know someone has a gun in the house, they're concerned.
In fact, the robbers were so concerned about Jim Doan's guns, they came up with an unconventional home invasion. They took over this nearby unoccupied house. Then they stole the Doan's family dog. The robbers called the Doans with the good news that they had found the missing pet. The grateful Doans rushed over. They even brought along a bottle of fine champagne as a thank you. But when the Doans arrived at the house, the unsuspecting couple was confronted by several men with guns, masks, and bulletproof vests.
I was absolutely terrified. They kept saying, "No one knows you're here. And if you don't tell us what we want to know, we're going to execute you. And the gun was at my head.
The Doans were forced to reveal the secret code to their burglar alarm and the combination to their safe. So while they were left tied up at the neighbor's house, the robbers were able to methodically ransack the Doans' home. They got away with nearly $1 million worth of cash and jewelry, including a 10-carat diamond ring Jim had given Cece just the week before.
3015, I'm going to be checking 128 south of Dynamite.
For 5 years, Scottsdale detective Tom Van Meter has been trying to track down this home invasion gang, the most successful and organized in U.S. history. He believes they had inside information from somebody in the area who knew exactly what was inside the Doans' house and the 13 other Scottsdale homes that were hit.
I think somebody had already put in an order, if you would say, and say that I know that somebody has a 10 carat and I want that 10 carat.
Home invasions are real scary because it can happen to anybody at any time.
Craig Scarlett was the lead detective on one of the most brutal home invasion cases in the country, a robbery in South Florida that turned into a triple murder, and it was all captured on videotape. The camera was part of a security system that was supposed to protect the homeowner. Instead, it recorded his death. His name was Butch Casey, a wealthy businessman who owned this popular nightclub in Miramar, just outside Fort Lauderdale. Friends say Casey liked having two things with him at all times: lots of cash and pretty women. He had both the night he died. It was just before sunrise on June 26, 1994. The 48-year-old Casey had closed his bar and headed over to his home a few miles away. And he had some company. Two beautiful 25-year-old models, Sharon Anderson and Marie Rogers, regular customers of his nightclub. Just the week before, Casey had installed a sophisticated home security video system. And as you watch Butch Casey over the next few minutes, keep in mind he knew the camera was rolling. The video shows Casey and the two women gathering around a dining table.
He felt that everything was okay. He was at home, as most people are when they're home. Their alarm systems and security systems are off. They may keep doors open.
Chuck Morton is Assistant State Attorney of Broward County, Florida. He's the chief prosecutor of this home invasion murder.
They were having after-hour drinks. They were there for about 45 minutes, and when suddenly two intruders came through an open sliding glass door in the rear of the home and immediately confronted them with violence.
The video shows Sharon Anderson running into a nearby bedroom. She's followed by one of the robbers. The other invader hits Butch Casey in the head with his gun and then pushes Marie Rogers onto the floor. The robbers then brutally beat Casey dozens of times. Police believe they wanted to know the location of two secret safes in the house, but throughout it all, Casey never gives an inch, and in fact, the robbers never find the safes. Suddenly, 30 minutes after the beating started, Casey decides to fight back and grabs the robber's gun.
I'm sure his thinking was that if I'm going to be killed, then I'm not going to make it profitable. Maybe I can stall for time, I can do whatever I can do to delay the inevitable.
Unfortunately, Casey's resistance may have spelled his doom. The other robber sees the struggle. He comes over and shoots Casey in the stomach. Moments later, the two women are shot at point-blank range. Police say they probably died instantly. Then Casey is shot again, this time in the head.
Once the intruders were inside, there was very little outside of a miracle that could have been done. Number one, to stop the brutality, and two, to stop the murders.
The videotape gave police something they don't usually have in home invasions: pictures of the robbers. But it took 6 weeks before the cops made an arrest. One of the suspects was caught invading another home in nearby Miami. He matched the description of one of the videotaped murderers, and police started building their case. 3 years after the murders, Seth Penalver and Pablo Ibar were put on trial.
Yes.
Sitting in the courtroom every day were the families of the two women who were killed. Barbara is Sharon Anderson's mother. Debbie is Sharon's sister.
They shot them and walked out like they had just turned off the kitchen appliance.
That's it.
As they were leaving, they just bent over the three of them and go 1, 2, 3, and walked out of the house. Just like they turned the light off and left.
Having your home invaded by robbers is obviously a frightening prospect for anybody, but you don't have to be completely helpless. There are steps we can all take to cut the risks of a home invasion.
I don't want people to be worried, but I would like them to be prepared in their mind what they will do if something should happen.
And with that in mind, we asked Detective Craig Scarlett to show us some practical safety tips that can help prevent a home invasion.
If you know that you're not going to be leaving your house and you have your house is closed up for the night and it's winding down, why not set your alarm system?
And one of the most effective